Guys, and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video, I am back with my round 26 tips. Only 2 rounds to go of the regular season. That is crazy, I know. But pretty poor week for me in round 25. Only 3 tips right. The Bulldogs, the Broncos, and the Storm. Or everything else was wrong. I went for upsets this week and it came back to bite me in the butt. There was some upsets for sure, with the Panthers losing to the Raiders, the Tigers beating Manly, but outside of that, not too many. I think most games went pretty much the way everybody expected them to. All right, on to round 26 tips. First game, we've got the Cowboys against the Melbourne Storm. Over the last 5 games, the Cowboys have won 2, Storm have won 3. Now, the Cowboys have actually, the last 2 games they played, they won. Both of them were in North Queensland. The time before that, in 2021, they only went down to Storm by 4 in North Queensland. The only time Storm seemed to beat the Cowboys is when it is played in Melbourne. Now, the Cowboys obviously have a 53% win rate at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Storm only have a 33% win rate, so not all that good for Melbourne there. And apparently Storm are going to look to rest players in this game. I actually think they might rest players in both. They got nothing to lose. They've won the minor premiership. Storm have nothing to lose. They probably will rest players for both weeks. If Storm don't rest players, I still think Cowboys win this one. But I think it'll be, I'm going to say 12 points. I'm going to say on the higher end of a 1-12 margin. But I think the Cowboys, that they should be too good. Even if Storm don't rest players, I still reckon the Cowboys at home, they got a decent record against Melbourne at home. So I reckon they can get the job done there. All right, next up, we've got the Bulldogs against the Sea Eagles. And the stats are pretty damning against the Bulldogs here. So over the last 9 games, the Bulldogs have won 1 game. That was back in 2022 where they beat Manly by 1 point. Outside of that, Manly have won 8 of their last 9 games against the Bulldogs. Now, at a core stadium, the Bulldogs have a 54% win rate. And the Sea Eagles have a 42% win rate. So 12% isn't that much of a difference, to be fair. But this year, in 2024, the Bulldogs have not lost at a core stadium. So that is an interesting stat there as well. Look, if I'm being honest with you, this is the different Bulldogs team to the team we've seen over the last 5 years. It is 10 times better. I think they're going to be one of the hardest teams to beat, especially in the finals as well. They're still pushing for that top 4 spot. I reckon they beat Manly here. I am going to back in the Dogs in that one. I think they win this one 1-12. Very close game there. All right, next up, we've got the Penrith Panthers against the South Sydney Rabbitohs at Bluebet Stadium. The Rabbitohs likely to still be without Cody Walker, I believe. If not, then they will welcome him back. And no Cam Murray either. Panthers obviously without Nathan Cleary, and I don't know if, Mitch Kenny will be back for this one. I always back my team in, regardless of who they play. I tell you this every single week. I always back him in. I don't care if it was an under-13s Rabbitohs squad taking on a full-strength Panthers squad. I'm always going to back in my team. I'm backing in the Rabbitohs 1-12. Yeah, we've won 1 game in our last 9 against Penrith. We've got a 33% win record in Penrith. They have a 60% win record. Since 1998, we've played 43 games. We've won 17. Penrith have won 26. So, look, all signs say that it's going to be a domination by Penrith, especially when you look at the strength of the 2 teams. But, I've got to go with my heart here. I've always got to back in my team. So, I'm going to go in confident. And so the Rabbitohs can pull off a major upset, beating the Panthers 1-12 there on Friday night. All right, next up, we've got the Parramatta Eels against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. This is at CommBank Stadium. Now, they've played 41 games since 1998. There's been 2 draws, and Parramatta have won 22. St. George have won 17. In the last 5 games, it's been 3-1 to Parramatta, 2-1 to the Dragons. So 3 wins, 2 losses to Para is probably what I should have said, and 2 wins, 3 losses to St. George. Dragons have been playing 10 times better than Parramatta this year, and they are fighting for a top 8 spot. Dragons play pretty poor at CommBank, though, which probably doesn't work too well in their favour. Obviously, Parramatta have a 62% win rate at CommBank, whereas the Dragons have a 26% win rate at CommBank Stadium. Wild. Actually don't play too many games outside of CommBank, these two, with the last game at the Dragons home ground in 2019. So, hey, Para, maybe next season let the Dragons versus you at Wynn Stadium or Netstrata. I don't know. But, yeah. Look, Dragons seem to go win-loss, win-loss. Like, all season it's been win-loss, win-loss. So I do think that they bounce back with a win this week due to the fact they lost to the Sharks. And Parramatta just aren't a good side this year. Like, they played okay against the Broncos, but what sort of Broncos side was that really? I actually thought the Broncos were the worst team on the night, and they were just lucky to get the win. That's my opinion. Obviously, you guys probably will disagree with that, but yeah. That's my tip there. I'm backing Dragons at 1-12 over Para. All right, next up, we've got the Broncos against the Dolphins. This game is at Suncorp Stadium. Now, they've played 3 games against each other. Broncos have won all 3 games. The Dolphins have a 47% win rate at Suncorp. Broncos have a 58% win rate there. Obviously, that is their home ground. This is a difficult one. This is a tough one. Apparently, Jeremy Marshall-King is likely to return for this game, which would be a massive inclusion for the Dolphins. All signs say the Broncos should win this game, but I'm going to go for a bit of an upset here and back in the Dolphins. I think Wayne gets the boys up for this game. I really do. The loser of this game is pretty much done for the season. The winner still has a chance to play finals. I think the Dolphins get it done, man. I really do. It's going to be another close game, a 1-12 margin. But, yeah, I think the Dolphins get the job done. All right, next up, we've got the Sharkies against the Warriors, the Sean Johnson Cup. So this is Sean Johnson's last ever game in the NRL. These two sides have met 45 times since 1998. Sharks have won, since the Warriors came into the comp. Sharks have won 27, Warriors have won 18. At Shark Park, the Sharkies have won 58%, Warriors have won 28%. In the last 5 years, or last 10 games, Sharks have won 7 of their last 10. Warriors have won 3. I genuinely think the Warriors will fight in this one because I think they're going to. It was a pretty disappointing game last week for SJ. I reckon they're going to be really up for this one. But the Sharks have just proven that they are a top 4 side. They deserve respect. I think the Sharks get the job done. I don't think it'll be 13 plus though. I think it will be a 1-12 margin. All right, next up, we've got the Newcastle Knights against the Gold Coast Titans. I stupidly tipped the Titans in to beat the Roosters. I don't know why, to be honest, but I did. I tipped them. Titans have a 29% win record at McDonald Jones Stadium. Knights 54%. over the last 8 games. Knights have won 5 of their last 8. Titans have won 3. They've played 29 games. Knights have won 16. Titans have won 13. So Knights, it's been pretty close to be fair. But look, with finals still on the line and Titans, I think they've put their shoes up. They've gone, nah, we're done for the season. I think they've clocked out. I think the Knights will be too good here. I think Caleb Ponga is going to have a field day in this game. And I think there might be a bit of a score put on in this one. So I'm going to go the Knights 13 plus in this one. All right, and to wrap up the weekend, we've got the Sydney Roosters against the Canberra Raiders, Allianz Stadium. 45 games played since 1998. Roosters have won 29, Raiders 16. Win percentage at Allianz Stadium, Roosters have won 64% of the games played there. Raiders have only won 17. So out of all the teams that are playing this week, they have the worst record at the home ground of the opposing team. So I think this one's pretty straightforward. I'm just backing in the Roosters here. 5 of their last 8 games won over the Raiders. A winning margin against the Raiders, an average winning margin against the Raiders of 20. Raiders have an average winning margin over the Roosters of 4. So I think the writing's on the wall here. I think the Roosters win, and I think they win big. I think that we might see, like a 56-16 win for the Roosters here. I think they put on an absolute clinic. If you are an NRL Supercoach player, I'll be putting the captain on James Tedesco because I reckon he goes massive in this game. But yeah, guys, let's run over these tips once more. We've got Cowboys to beat the Storm 1-12, Bulldogs over Manly 1-12, Rabbitohs over the Panthers 1-12, Dragons over Para 1-12, Dolphins over the Broncos 1-12, Sharks over the Warriors 1-12, Knights to beat the Titans 13 plus, and Roosters to beat the Raiders 1-12. Let me know who you're tipping down below in the comments, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.